Welcome to this video tutorial where I am going to make a key fob, or a number of key fobs actually. The first one I'm going to make here is going to be for this character Waluigi, I think his name is. And I've actually got two images of this character. I've got this kind of computer rendering version, and then I've got this outline version or line art version. I'm going to start off, I think, by making a design with this character right here. And I'm going to be using TextSoft Design and a laser cutter to make this key fob. I'm going to copy this image. I'm going to come to TextSoft Design. I'm just going to just close that one down there, and I'm going to go ahead and paste this in and see what I get. And instantly I can see we've got a problem. And the reason for this is because it's got a transparent background, and TextSoft Design doesn't like transparent backgrounds. So that was no good. So instead what I'm going to do is go to paint.net, and I'm going to paste that image into a new image, or Control-Alt-V. And there it is. And now what I can do with this is Control-A to select all. I can see there's no margin on this. I'm going to Control-C for copy. Now I'm going to go back to TextSoft Design, and I'm going to paste that in. Okay, now I'm going to resize this. While I resize this, I don't want to left click because I can distort the image. I want to make sure I right click on the mouse, move, and then right click again to drop. I'm going to keep doing that, zoom in here, and keep doing that process until I get the character to the right size. Now, in terms of the sizing here, of course, I want to change the grid settings. I'm going to go with a 5mm grid here. Let's see, I'm going to do it like that in lines. And then now what I want to do, I'm going to zoom in on this, and I am going to be getting a dimension line tool. I've got grid lock turned on here, and I'm deciding that I'm wanting to make this key fob. I'm going to make this, let's say, 3.5 centimeters in height. So that's going to be 35 millimeters. That's the height I want the figurine to be. So, or the key fob. Let's just come on to step lock here so that I can get this. So it's just snapping onto the grid. There he is, the bottom left now is snapping onto the grid. I'm going to right click, I'm going to bring him in and just bring it so that the height there is in line with the 3.5. It's slightly off there. I'm just going to run with that. That should be absolutely fine. Okay, so that now is ready for me to manufacture. Almost. If I come to see the full screen here, I can see how small that's going to be. And of course, there's a few issues with this as well in terms of the cutting out details. If I zoom in on this, there's no blue line for cutout, and I also haven't got my hole either for the key loop to go through. So let's see. I want to do a cutout outline here. I'm also aware that this is going to be quite a fragile cutout with these long spindly legs. So what I'm going to do here is come to the closed Bezier curve tool. I'm going to keep step lock turned on. I'm going to change the line color here to blue, and I'm now going to start to draw a profile around this. Now I said keep step lock on. In fact, no, I'm not. I'm going to turn it off because I want to have a little bit more control here about the profile that this follows. Now, anyone here that knows about contour, the contour spacing tool, will know that there's easier ways of doing this, but I'm just wanting to keep this quick and simple just for the time being. I'm going to work my way around. I don't want to be doing loads and loads of clicks. I just want to try and make sure that I kind of, get the details here. I'm not going to worry too much about going into the details of the shoe there. I'm going to work around here. And then when I get to this point here, I'm going to not go inside the trouser leg here. I'm going to bring it straight across and loop into here. And that means that any fragility that would come out from the laser cut legs here in this very small size should be compensated for because the material is going to be a little bit more sturdy. Okay, I'm going to pause the video here and then pick up when I've finished the outline. Okay, so I'm almost done here, and just to finish, because I've got the closed Bezier curve, all I need to do now is double click and it will close that up. Now I can see here that I have made a little bit of a mistake just here by the shin. So if I select the profile, I go to Start Edit. Now I see all my individual clicks, and this is where I was saying you shouldn't click too many times, because every time I clicked, I have got basically an orange little node, and each orange node has two little handles that let me adjust it. All I want to do here is bring this in like so. Or if I wanted to, I could select that node and I could delete that node and just simplify the drawing and then perhaps just bring that in like that. Okay, so there we are. I'm happy with that. What I still need to do, of course, is identify where the actual hole will be for the key fob. For the key ring, should I say. Now for this, I'm going to use a particular technique. I'm going to come to the circle tool here. I want to draw a circle with a given center and radius. And what I want to do here, first of all, is do the 3mm, oh no, sorry, it's going to be a 3mm diameter hole for the key loop to go through. So that's 1.5 millimeter radius. I'm going to make sure I've got gridlock turned on here, and I'm going to draw that over here. So just to make sure that we all know what that is going to be a circle with a 3mm diameter. Let's just go to that for the time being. Now, in terms of positioning this in from the edge, remember that I shouldn't be more than 7mm from the edge of the material. So if I do a radius here of 7mm, make this, let's say, pale gray, and then drop this here, and then group that together. Control G for group. That now means that what I have is effectively, let's go on to step lock here, I have a way of positioning the hole for my key loop to go through, but I know that I don't want to go, for example, to here, because now I would basically have this edge of the key fob going beyond the 7mm radius limit that my expandable metal ring will open up to. So let's just bring that up to about, I'm liking, yeah, that's not bad actually. I like the look of that. If I wanted to have more control here, of course, what I could do is turn my step spacing to 0.5, 0.5, and then I can take this and just control it with a little bit more precision. Or I could turn off the gridlock completely and just work without stepping to the grid. But there's my design looking good. I'm happy with that. Okay, so what I'm going to do at this point is pause the video, and then we're going to see what comes out of the laser cutter. Right, so there he is. That's the engraving done. And as you can see, well, it's not turned out particularly well. I'm liking the size of this. I suppose it could be a fraction bigger. But if I turn it over onto the back, I always think the engravings look better when they're on the back face of the acrylic and you're looking through the acrylic onto it. Now I'm going to see if I can do anything about the quality of the engraving there. So let's just minimize the camera. What I'm going to do here is come back onto paint.net. I've still got my image here. And what I'm going to do is apply two effects to this. Number one is, let's have a see. I am going to select all. Yeah, I'm going to go to adjustments, and I'm going to invert the colors. And then I'm going to go to effects. I think it's artistic. It's pencil sketch. I'm going to have maximum pencil tip size and maximum range. And I'm going to go with that. Now then, is that going to work? I'm just going to double check something here. Effects, artistic, pencil sketch. No, I think I'm not going to do the inverting this time. I've looked at it and I felt as if the clothing here was too light. I think I'm going to ignore the invert colors and just go with the pencil sketch. Okay, fantastic. Let's now copy that again. Let's now come back to TextSoft. I'm going to paste this in. Okay, let's now scale this down again with the right mouse button. Okay, position it in here. Let's see if I can get these to the same size. That's my objective. Right click again, bring it in. I want this chap to be again on the grid, like so. And then now perhaps bring him across so it's in line with this character here, like that. And then just bring the character in a little bit. I think it was about there. Does that look about right to you folks? I think so. Okay, brilliant. Back to gridlock. Bring this character to the right here. Let's move this chap here out of the way. Bring this character in. Okay, and of course I need to make sure that I send him to the back. There's the center back icon at the top there. Okay, and that's looking really, really good. So I'm hoping that this is going to turn out better. Let's just save that again now. And I'm going to call that version 2. Okay, let's see how that laser cuts. Okay, so, and it was focused a second ago. Let's try and get it back again then. There you go. That is what we've got, which I don't actually know if it's any better. I think it's actually worse than the original there, which actually surprises me because I've used that technique before and it's normally better. But what we're highlighting here really is the fact that this technique is kind of this type of graphic doesn't turn out the best. Perhaps the problem that we have here is that these are so small. So let's have a see, how are we going to approach this? Well, right at the start of this video, if I'm not mistaken, I talked about working with this image instead, this line art image. And so that's what I'm going to work with right now. I'm going to take this, I'm going to copy this image. Let's go back into paint.net. I'm going to paste that in as a new image. Select all. Let's just copy that, go into text off design, and let's just paste that in. Okay, so there it is. And what I'm going to do, I've got a grid lock turned on here. What I'm going to do again is just take that to the side and then right click and bring this down. Now, I'm also thinking as well that perhaps these key fobs are a little bit on the small size, but no, I'm going to keep it the same size as the other ones were. So let's just move this across here. Let's zoom in. Let's take these designs. I'm going to move those out of the way. Take this one here. Remember, I've still got grid lock turned on here, so I can just snap it in like that. And with grid lock turned on, I can just snap that in. Let's have a see. I'm going to make it like that. There you go. So there's going to be my character. Right. Fantastic. So far, so good. I still need to do the outline on this. And in the same way, what I could now do is do the same kind of process of using a closed Bezier curve and outline this. But I'm going to show you another way, which is a lot more, it might seem more complicated, but in the long run, it's much, much faster. I'm going to come back to paint.net, Magic Wand tool, and I'm going to select all the background. Now notice that obviously, you know, there's no margin here. So the edge of the glove here touches the edge of the drawing. So my Magic Wand selection doesn't go beyond this edge of the glove. What I need to do here is add in the add function. That's exciting. Let me just try that one again. I'm going to click, let's see, escape to escape all the selection. There we are. Click the left, click the top right, click the bottom. I need to get the shoe down there. Perfect. Oh, that looks fine. Yes, I'm going to go with that. I can see there's a few areas here that I don't necessarily want, but I just want to get rid of the background here. Don't I? Yes, I do. That's fine. Okay, now I'm going to come to the brush tool. I'm going to get a big brush, and I'm simply, I need to invert the selection so that I'm no longer selecting the background, but I'm selecting the actual character. And now, whoops-a-daisy, in black, I'm now going to fill the character in. And I've now maxed off this black outline. Okay, let's do Control A again, Control C, come back to TextSoft. I'm going to paste this character in. And again, I've got grid lock turned on here. Let's right click, scale the character down, bring it closer in, make it so his bottom left is on the grid there, and then bring this down so they're both going to be the same height. Okay, so they are now exactly the same size. And what this means I can do with this black outline is I can come to bitmap. I can come to, I could do the contour, but I'm going to do let's do a contour of this. Let's do that. Let's have a 2mm contour, graphical path, excluding the background. Okay, let's try that. Yes, look at that. Absolutely fantastic. And now what I've got is this perfectly contoured outline. Bring that in. Wasn't that so much easier? Let's just take that to the side. Now, am I convinced with the fact that it's actually cutting in between the legs here? I'm going to risk this one and see what happens. Of course, I want to make sure that that is going to be blue. And I'm also going to select this little kind of donut that I made earlier. Let's bring this in. And I'm actually going to put this, I think, on the fist. And I'm liking the look of that. Let's just go to step lock here, give myself a little bit more control, and just bring that into, I'm liking that. Okay, let's make sure that the graphic here is sent to the back again. And we are good to go. Right, so I'm going to save that again now, and I'm going to see, and before I go any further, let's just flip it. There we go. And then, well, I'm going to have this engraved onto the back, and I'm hoping that this is going to be the best of the bunch. File, save as, version 3. Here we go. And there you go. That is by far the best. That's looking really pretty decent there. Okay, so there we are. What have we got out of this experience? Well, firstly, I think it's really important to choose the right kind of graphic. Certainly, these line art kind of drawings or black and white images are the best to go with, particularly if you're going to be doing something very, very small, and then working with paint.net to be able to make sure that you've really cleaned up the image, and as well, of course, making sure, if you can, that you use this masking process. And then in TechSoft Design, just making sure you're working with the grid, making sure you're getting the dimensions for your products right, and you are, scaling things so they're equal size in terms of the mask and the original graphic. But that is pretty cool. I'm very happy with that. That's looking absolutely fantastic. If we can focus, can I come in close? There we are. We're focusing in. No, now it's focused on the background. Anyway, I guess my hands aren't going to do it there. I'll put it back down there. There he is. Those are my 3 little key rings, all looking superb. Right, good. I hope that was useful. Take care.